Thank you, Acting Presiding Officer. The decision to remove universal winter fuel payments has blindsided millions of pensioners who have now been put into a state of fear over the affordability of their winter fuel bills, which are predicted to go up by 10% in October. But what is completely perplexing about the situation is that no explanation whatsoever has been offered by a new Labour Westminster government as to why it is necessary or why it is so urgent. Indeed, so urgent that they have had to invoke special emergency provision measures and bypass parliamentary scrutiny of it. They have claimed, rather ludicrously, and without evidence I should add, that it was to stop a run on the pound. They've also claimed that there is a £22 billion black hole in public finances, but this has been repeatedly shown to be disingenuous and manufactured by the Labour Party in self-imposing restrictions on UK public spending and backdating inflation-busting public sector pay rises to keep their trade union donors happy. Just 10 weeks before the election was called, the Office for Budget Responsibility audited UK public finances, and there was no indication of a £22 billion shortfall. In fact, it would have been a breach of the Civil Service Code if officials had knowingly signed off incorrect public finance estimates. Quite frankly, it is clear to just about everyone here, including the Cabinet Secretary, that cutting the universal winter fuel scheme in this way is not only exceptionally short-sighted and callous, but it will risk pushing thousands of pensioners into fuel poverty. Over 100,000 will see it cut in my region alone. It creates a sharp cliff edge for those whose income is just above pension credit levels. Those who have 35 years of national insurance contributions, the full state pension, are not eligible for pension credit, and now the winter fuel allowance. Yet someone with 34 years contribution is, meaning that those just over the threshold are most likely in danger of fuel poverty. We also know that there are almost 900,000 people who are entitled to but are not claiming pension credit. So the reality is this Labour government will be taking a vital income away from those who most need it. However, what is most alarming, as we have discovered, the new Labour government has commissioned no impact assessment whatsoever on the impact of this cut, and the Labour Party's own research has estimated that by scrapping universal winter fuel payments, excess deaths will increase by almost 4,000 people. So the real question here is, why does the UK government want to do such a thing? Why would they want to cause such fear in pensioners, many of whom are vulnerable, disabled and suffering from health issues? And why would they want to take a decision that by their own research would cause the deaths of thousands? The truth is, Acting Presiding Officer, by cutting winter fuel payments and punishing vulnerable pensioners, they are ultimately paving the way for extremely painful fiscal policies and further tax rises, as we are, in all fairness, being continually warned about by the new government. They will argue that if vulnerable pensioners have to pay, then so does everyone else. They have manufactured this financial situation and are punishing pensioners so they can turn around and squeeze every last penny out of the UK taxpayer, out of businesses and out of entrepreneurs. But as we have seen repeatedly throughout history, they won't use this money for good government, but to swell the state, and most probably bung this place another £100 million for the extra 36 politicians that you so want, but nobody else does. The fact that, without exception, no Labour MPs supported the scrapping of this cut last week clearly shows the contempt and cowardice that they have for our country and our most vulnerable, and with all due respect, Cabinet Secretary, the contempt that they have for you and this government. I'm sure that many people who voted for them in July are now thoroughly ashamed. Acting Presiding Officer, there's no logical reason as to why scrapping universal winter fuel allowance should be done, making older people, some disabled, some suffering from chronic and terminal illnesses who feel the cold more deeply, afraid to turn on their heating in case they get a bill they cannot afford, neither makes moral nor financial sense. During this debate, we will undoubtedly hear about the human cost and possibly the increased financial cost of such a policy. I would like to remind members across this chamber to take a step back and look at the real reasons as to why the Labour Party are choosing to do this and are choosing to punish vulnerable pensioners. It is only but the start of the pain that the Labour Party has in store for us and the Welsh people, and I would urge everyone here to support that motion. Thank you.